Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ivy League Digital Network, another edition of Around the Ancient Eight. I'm Matt Panto and today we go around the Ancient Eight in women's basketball to preview the upcoming slate of weekend games. We do so with Lance Medow, our digital network correspondent for the Columbia Lions. Lance is nice enough to join us from New York City. Lance, really appreciate a few minutes today.
Well, thanks so much for having me, Matt. Appreciate it.
Lance, a good win for the Lions this past weekend over Dartmouth. When you look back at that game, what stands out?
Well, what stood out about that win is the fact that the offense played consistent basketball for an entire game, and that has been something that they have not been able to accomplish consistently throughout the course of this season. Shot around 50% on the game. Great balance between the backcourt and the front court. Courtney Bradford and Amara Mbianwu did not get into foul trouble. They were able to stay on the court, and they had a nice balance between their points and their productivity on the glass, so that was extremely key. Taylor Ward did a great job taking care of the basketball, and Tasha Bada, who is the spark plug on this squad. She hit some big threes down the stretch, hit some key jumpers, and they were able to close out a game. This is not the most talented team in the Ivy League, but it's a team that's very dangerous, assuming that its offense is clicking on all cylinders.
First year for Columbia under head coach Stephanie Glantz. What kind of culture and mentality is she trying to establish in New York City?
Well, she's trying to sell to the team the fact that they need to forget about the past. This is a squad that won 8 combined games in the previous 2 seasons. So it's almost rebuilding from scratch. That's her goal, and she's trying to send that message to the team. And I think that the team is buying into that. It seems to be a more lively team this season, which is certainly a positive, but it's easier said than done. So that's the key right now. The bottom line is for this team to be more consistent. That's one of her messages. You want to be able to put forth some productivity one game, and you want to be able to carry that momentum into another. The perfect example is Courtney Bradford, who is one of their best front court players. She's had a game where she put 24 points up against Penn, and then she comes back with no points. So, that's the type of thing that head coach Stephanie Glantz is trying to sell her team. You can't just pick and choose nights you want to show up. The energy has to be there each and every game, and I think that's what they're striving for, and they hope that they can build that this season so that when the incoming classes come in seasons to come, they'll have some stability to build upon.
We should certainly learn a lot more about the 14-game tournament this weekend as both Penn and Princeton head up north. What has your attention going into this weekend, Lance?
Well, I think all eyes are going to be on Cambridge, Massachusetts. I mean, that's the place to really focus on. Harvard, 21 games in a row they've won at Levites Pavilion. They've been solid in protecting their home court. They're setting the tone right now. Princeton, Penn, and Harvard, though, each have one loss. And as you know, in order to gain some ground in the Ivy League, you got to take care of business against the teams that are in front of you. And Penn took care of business against Harvard at the Palestra earlier this season. They really bulldozed the Crimson, which was a surprise. And Harvard beat Princeton in New Jersey. So they've really split in terms of their head-to-head battles. It's going to be important for Penn, I think, to make a statement because this is a team that, to me, has really stood out. Alyssa Barron, this is their senior season. I think they want to go out with a bang. If they can get a win this weekend at Harvard, that's going to put them in a very good position, especially with another meeting against Princeton on the horizon. It's very interesting this season. In past seasons, it's been Princeton is the team to beat. Everybody is chasing them for second place. This season, I think for once, we've got a race, and this weekend could go a long way to determining that.
Lance, really appreciate your coverage all season long. Also appreciate a few minutes today. Thanks for joining us on Around the Ancient Eight.
Thanks for having me. Greatly appreciate it.
And a reminder, you can watch all the weekend games here on the Ivy League Digital Network and join us on Monday and Tuesday as we provide full highlights. Matt Panto for the Ivy League Digital Network. Enjoy the games, everyone.